One of the reasons the Premier League stands out globally is the uniformity in operations, and I'll explain.
Craven Cottage.
Man,
Hey,
always
no,
the big
know,
man.
You know,
Fans already have a new song for you.
yeah. I'm hearing it. I'm enjoying my time so far.
What did you say the last time?
Like, share, subscribe. Is
Yeah.
that what you do? I'm not a YouTuber. I'm too old for this, but I see it.
You're not too old though. 40-year-old Ronaldo is a YouTuber.
I'm not 40.
I know, but you're not too old, that's what I'm saying.
Guys out there, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, keep on watching AY, and yeah.
Questions everywhere. The big question will be, how have they done it? Why are they still the best despite the monies pumped into different leagues across the world? They are still the best. Yes, you may say, well, the English Premier League, you don't agree that it's the best league in the world. You can argue all I want, but where's the big money? Certainly England. Where's the organizational structure and the proper, television and broadcasting rights that you get? Of course, the English Premier League. So today we'll be evaluating why it still stands out in every aspect compared to other leagues and other competitions in the world. I've been, to the FIFA World Cup. I've covered a lot of games in the Africa Cup of Nations, about maybe 3 different Africa Cup of Nations now. Looking forward to the 4th one. I've been to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. I've been, to the La Liga. I've covered games in the La Liga, and I hope to cover more very soon. I've covered, a lot of games across the world, and I want to say organizationally, media, and broadcast plans and execution and promotion, the English Premier League completely stands out. Nobody can argue with that. I will be evaluating and of course bringing back one of my trips to one of the famous grounds in the English Premier League last season. Of course, I done this jersey for the Craven Cottagers. That's talking about Fulham FC. So where we have 2 Nigerians who ply their trade in that particular club. Talk about Alexander Iwobi and of course the Calvin the Bassi, the best player for Fulham last season. So we'll be talking about my visit to that particular ground and some of the things I noted, as a photographer and as a digital content creator, what I think we can take. And we must always mention when you talk about the organizational arrangement of the English Premier League and of course the organizers of the league. Welcome to my channel this wonderful day. My name is AY Sugar. I live with Aqua, they call me AY Sugar, and I talk about football, basically more of Nigerian football, African football. I also talk about the English Premier League like I'm doing now, looking forward to the next season and counting down to it. I talk business, and how you can learn 1 or 2 things from it. I travel, so I do travel vlogs, and also I do a whole lot of other kind of content as far as you can learn from it. That's the idea that, pushes my content creation. Welcome to my channel this wonderful day. Thank you for the new subscribers. I do really appreciate. We have more exclusives coming, and we'll be counting down to the World Cup qualifiers very, very soon. And apart from that, we'll also be talking about a bit of what's happening in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. That's the current tournament going on, which is the CHAN. I'll find a way to get 1 or 2 content regarding the local team of the Nigerian team and how they're faring, and so much more. I also spoke to a real estate mogul, and we talked about real estate in the UK and in Nigeria. We'll talk about that, of course, very, very soon. I'll bring that up, plus other content, archival materials that I have. I'm even thinking, should I bring back my World Cup 2018 experience? I have footages, I've not used them, so I look forward to putting that together. It's going to be a lot, but I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much, by the way. So now let's go straight up into some of these I've jotted down, from my research, and my experience, covering the English Premier League. I've covered a few games and I've noted so many things that have made them the best league in the world. Look at the monies that are being called, in today's transfer market. Wow, humongous amount of money. Which clubs, which country, and which league is actually, calling these big names, or they have made the biggest signing so far? How much have they really spent? The likes of Manchester City, the likes of Liverpool, champions of England, or you talk about Manchester United who are rebuilding, or you talk about Chelsea who have spent a lot of money, have made money, and are current Club World Cup champions, and Conference League champions, or you want to talk about Aston Villa who, did very well in the Champions League last season, and of course in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest who are back in Europe, or you want to talk about Crystal Palace. All these clubs, they have structures, they have good promotion, and they spend money, they have money. And it's due to some factors. I will be looking at it, and I'll also be sharing my experiences, covering, and bring back a footage of my visit to the Craven Cottage, home of Fulham FC. Welcome. So let's go straight up into the main matter. Now let's look at some of the things I've actually looked at, and what I think could be factors that we may be ignoring, maybe in Africa, maybe in other parts of Europe, that are still being ignored as to why the English Premier League still stands very tall ahead of the La Liga, the Italian Serie A, or the French Ligue 1, or the German Bundesliga. So let's start with the Craven Cottage. I will be taking you there, by the way, but let's quickly start there. One of the oldest and most charming stadiums in English football. From the moment I arrived there, everything was like a clockwork. You get into here, you get your accreditation, and as a media man, it was special for me. Hospitality was top notch, security was 100%, fan experience, of course, absolutely charming. The chants, the songs, and you enjoy the most when you're behind the post, which most of the time, as a photographer, I'll stand behind the post. I will always hear them sing, chanting, and taunting each other. The other fans will be there singing. I try to memorize some of these songs. Very lovely to listen to and very funny for me. But it's the tradition in English football, and that shows the character. I remember also when I went to Spain, they had their own sort of way, how the Fulham club, they're allowed to bring in drums and megaphones, to come chant for their club. So that may not be acceptable or permissible in England, but in Spain they allow that for proper organized supporters club, so to speak. And they were making noise, were chanting behind. I think it was at the Anoeta where we had Real Sociedad versus Barcelona in that particular game I covered in the La Liga. But let's come back to England. So we're talking about the Craven Cottage, one of the grounds I have visited. Even the little things, like I said, signages, steward guidance, press accreditation, media handling, you could tell there was a clear system in place, and it was no accident. Of course, the Premier League runs a tight ship, and every club aligns with that vision. So it's not just when you get to the Craven Cottage, that's how it's done. When you get to Brentford, that's GTEC Community Stadium, that's, they do it in another way. No way. It has to go, it's by the book, it's textbook. So you have to follow what you need to do per every game day. I've also been to the Leicester ground where they were in the league at the time before relegating, and we had the duo of Kelechi Iheanacho and of course Leicester City's Wilfred Ndidi there at the time, and it was fantastic experience for me. So that's one of the things that you must not push away are the basics, the little things which are just the normal things that you need to get, even for fans who are coming down, to the Craven Cottage or to the stadium to actually see a game. Another thing, one of the reasons the Premier League stands out globally is the uniformity in operations, and I'll explain. Whether it's Manchester United or Luton Town, every stadium, every broadcast, every experience follows a well-defined structure, from VAR implementation to press room, from fan safety and accessibility. And behind the scenes, every match day is a coordinated operation involving club media, global broadcasters, digital teams and security, and it's done weekly, 380 times a season. Another thing they've actually brought to engender or to promote transparency is explaining decisions taken by the VAR or by the referee online on social media while the game is on. So they'll tell you why this particular decision was taken after a VAR review, and that makes because now they're also considering there are a lot of people that may not be watching or could not even be watching, simultaneously with also following it on social media, either via X or via TikTok or via Instagram. One way or the other, people are following at different points. They want to follow live updates. They are driving, they're listening to radio, and all that. So they just wanted to be informed anywhere you go. They know how fans have gotten so religious about their club sides. Some may be on a trip, some may just even be somewhere where the time zones are not the same. So you don't need to even put on your television to see a highlight or to see a particular decision or what has happened or a goal that has been scored. Is the way it's going to be even described. So these are very basic things, little, but these are things that have taken the league to another level, apart from what they've pumped in since 1992 and rebranding it, from a just division, English Division 1 to a Premier League, and it has been Premier. Now, another thing, which is the most important thing they don't joke with. I have a lot of colleagues who are in the UK who are journalists, sports journalists of over 10 years and more, who have shown interest. They want to cover the league and all that. It's not been easy, because they protect it. They don't just allow for unprofessionalism. The way you have to get into covering a league match, you have to follow by the books. You have to do a whole lot of things, and that shows how much they value this particular product called the Premier League. They don't toy with it, So, and that's why I said I'm moving to one of the most important part, which is the media branding and global consistency part. Visibility everywhere, just like I've explained. As someone in the content and digital space, I've got to talk about how polished the Premier League's global media presence is. Every club has high quality digital output, and that's not just talent, it's organizational backing. Now, clubs are equipped to deliver real-time content, post-match reactions, and brand-aligned visuals that feed into a global audience of billions. No other league does this quite like the Premier League. Like I said earlier, I saw it real-time. I was in the media room. I saw our own media room, and of course, I had a chance to stay behind the post, saw those running the commentary, saw where you have to be as a media, then where photographers are to be. Even photographers, you have to upload photos real time as it's happening. So I took a shot, of the action by that player or Lionel or Alex Iwobi. It's not going to stay in my system till the end of the game. It's going up almost in seconds. I'm uploading it, and who needs to get it, and needs to tweet it, and needs to explain, and that's going to go. If it's a short video these days with a digital phone even, you just take a shot, because some people want to see it from a POV point of view. That's the point of view, that's POV, a language in social media now. So you want to see from that view, from somebody's phone's view, so to speak. Apart from cameras or television cameras that, yes, you need to quickly upload, you need to download it, you need to edit it, you need to quickly cut that part out and share, and people see, oh, that was how Alex Iwobi scored that fantastic goal. Oh, what a defense splitting pass from Bassi, and all that. Those are very important parts, that they don't toy or joke with. Now, let me give you more information, of course, regarding what we've been talking about. Let's move to the next one. Investment in infrastructure and experience. You see that from time to time, even the smallest clubs, even clubs like Milton Keynes, who are in Ligue 1, I call Ligue 1, Ligue 1, or not even in Ligue 1, have good structures. If you go to the Milton Stadium, it's totally out of this world, fantastically built. And it's not because they are not in the league, they are not in the Premier League, but it's a culture. So every other team get grants or get some sort of support or one thing, and they move from one ground, the old ground, or totally bring it down and take it back up. That's what they've done, all of them, because they cherish the business, a big booming business, and they don't joke with it. So they have, of course, they want to always have the best players. They want to always have the best business. When you talk about clubs transferring or buying players, imagine spending 100+ whooping millions of pounds on Florian Wirtz by Liverpool, or by spending so much more, and getting Hugo Ekitike, from RB Leipzig. I don't think German Bundesliga have got that to even spend such amount of money, or the Italian Serie A, or the French Ligue 1. None of them. None of them. So they don't even come close. The distance is a chasm between the English Premier League and, of course, other leagues and the top 5 leagues in Europe. Now, let's move away from there and let's talk about the passion and vision and personal vision. So as the countdown begins to the 2025 to 2026 season, I'm more convinced than ever the Premier League isn't just the most watched, it's the most organized, most professionally run football league on the planet. And for someone like me who's passionate about storytelling, media and football culture, this is the gold standard of it all. I remember when I went all the way to Nottingham. Wow. Check that on my I'll put that here on this particular video so that you can just click and watch that vlog. It was massive, it was interesting, it was sweet. You know, the way people follow. I know on match day, you know, how I meet people at the train station singing their way to the stadium and how they feel when they either lose or win and they have that coming back home. The passion is surreal. You see it physically and you see how they feel sad if you're on the train coming back with them, nobody's talking. If they are happy, they are going to get drunk, they are going to drink, they are going to be happy, they will show it, you know. And they are very, very attached to these clubs, and not today, not tomorrow. They've been there for decades, whether they win, lose or, you know, draw, and whether they win the Premier League or not. First time Crystal Palace was getting to the final of a major tournament, winning it, and we saw the way at Wembley Crystal Palace fans, you know, celebrated. They didn't just jump from, oh, this is the biggest club now, all of us will leave Crystal Palace and will focus on Manchester City, for instance. No, they did not. They stayed with Crystal Palace all the years. They can identify with these clubs, and that's the beauty of the English Premier League brand that's been built, you know, for a long time. Even non-league sides with 2,000 capacity stand, I've been there and I still see the way they follow their club. Despite the fact that they are a non-league side, they don't just say, oh, I'm also an Arsenal fan, or I'm also a Nottingham fan, or I'm also, you know, this other club's fan. No, they stay with that club. Imagine superstar musician Ed Sheeran represent Ipswich Town. He didn't say, okay, I'm Ed Sheeran, I support Arsenal. He never abandoned them, and he came for games in the Premier League last season when Ipswich Town were in the league. So that's how much people get attached and passionate about this. And this was not just built, you know, it wasn't built yesterday. It was built a long time ago. So fantastic for them, and the association with their clubs is fantastic. It's something to emulate, I must say. Well, so much really to talk about. But now I'll take you to this short vlog of me arriving at the Craven Cottage, you know, telling you about my experience, and of course getting behind the post, taking photos, you know, how, and of course the bosses, you know, we've seen them. You know, I'll take you to other grounds. I've been to the Brentford GTEC community twice or 3 times. I've been to the Nottingham ground, and I've also been at the Craven Cottage 2 times. Which other club side? Okay, I went all the way to the Championship in Cardiff. I went there also. So I've been to some very interesting grounds. I've been to the Etihad Stadium, and also seen games at the Wembley Stadium, and I've also visited, you know, the Arsenal Stadium, that's the Emirates. So all this certainly put together, and my experience covering football for over 2 decades has made me put out this video and of course share real-time experiences with you. I'm sure you've learned 1 or 2 things, and you've seen why it distinguishes, it stands out, it totally you know, stays isolated from other leagues in the world, and it's still the most and best league in the world. No be moi moi, no be for mouth. If you don't understand me, so she just gonna learn what moi moi is. Thank you so much. So let's visit the Craven Cottage. So I'm walking down to the gate 50. That's where I've been told to go to get my accreditation. I'm very late, but like I said, it's better late than never. We must get the content that we so desire. Okay, trying to locate my spot for the second half of this particular game. At the Craven Cottage. Alright, so it's banned out that way at the pitch side, and well, we're playing fun. Just got the pictures at the Craven Cottage, and
Massive. It was a great game. 3-1 in favor of Fulham. And I'm happy to have been able to meet up eventually. Let's catch up with the Niger boys and see if we can get Alex and the account.
All right, so we have Nigerian international and Fulham FC defender Calvin Bassey. Calvin, how do you feel? Great game, 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, of course it was a good game. I felt like we had chances before, especially in the first half. It could have been 2-0 up. Yeah, we just didn't take our chances. Then, of course, it gets harder. You know, when you play in the Premier League, all the sides are going to have chances. You know, they've got the quality to make chances. But you know, we stayed strong and stuck to the game plan and was able to come away with 3-1 victory.
Cute. Always the vibe man.
Hey,
always the big man.
You know,
and the nickname, they are giving you a nickname. You saw that one post.
how many nicknames?
Hey guys, guess who we have here? The wonderful, the magician, Alexander Iwobi, Super Eagles midfielder and Fulham FC player. How do you feel? 3-1 win.
Yeah, good result. We played well, and the main thing is that we got 3 points. So it's good to go into the international break with a win.
Finally, you held your own in the middle of the pack for Fulham. Comfortable place for the Alex Iwobi. We know back up. You feel very comfortable playing the role you're actually given by the coach.
Yeah, the coach, as he asked me when I signed where I'm most comfortable playing, and I told him that I do like playing in midfield, but I can play in multiple positions, and that's what he loves. So as long as I have that right attitude and right mindset, he doesn't really mind, and I'll play in any position. Everyone knows my most comfortable position is in midfield.
The fans already have a new song for you.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. I'm enjoying my time so far. Just hopefully that we can push on and win something or get into the Europa spot or something like that this season.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate all.
Just come out like this. I get pictures. I'll send you some fine pictures. I'll send you some nice pictures.
If you do though, enough love, man. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And I've got Nigerian Dominic. How you doing, Dominic?
Hey man, I'm
good
good.
to
I'm
see you.
good. Yeah, man.
And you're new into journalism.
Yeah, getting started. So you know what I mean.
You look forward to it.
Yeah, man. I'm loving it so far, and yeah, just can't
Meeting
wait
the
to-
stars, play.
Yeah.
I know that.
It's fun. It's fun.
Definitely. All right, great to meet you. Great to meet you. Thank you for everything, and I wish you all the best in your career,
too, man. No problem.
Of course, so that's how I'm going to be wrapping it up on my channel.
Thank you very
today.
much. Thank you so much for your, for staying and for watching. I'm sure you've learned 1 or 2 things from the Craven Cottage. My experience as I shared real time getting there, and taking photos, and the fans and the atmosphere was magnificent. It was lovely. I wasn't able to film inside because, of course, the rights does not permit me to do that. So I have to follow professionally what I needed to do, which was to take photos. So certainly, I will bring more of this, and we'll count down to the beginning of a new season in England and other parts of Europe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click on the like button, let this video go very far, and also turn on the notification bell so that anytime another video pops up, you get the alert and you quickly will be one of the first to join it. Don't forget to comment. I love to read from you. I love to engage. I love the spirit I get from you guys. It's been amazing, and of course spurs me on to really go out there and get more content. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.